work for an agency, so a bunch of YouTube content, editing, that stuff.
Man.
I caught up with a mate for coffee. Bought a crappy trimmer because my one broke. Doing tax returns. Yeah. What about you, man?
Nice. Yeah, what do? We both had our first shift at the cafe where we work.
Yeah.
It's about 50-meter walk from the flat, Mint Cakery.
It's the dream.
Nice.
I'm in the coffee machine majority of the time. Cameron's out the back whipping around in the kitchen.
Yeah.
He was showing off some good skills today.
Yeah, I was
actually quite impressed. They had him on scones.
I was making scones, muffins, and I was making savoury scones, sweet scones, and muffins.
I didn't know that you actually had like the culinary expertise.
Yeah, believe it or not.
That's amazing.
Until Monday.
Like father, like son.
But the real question is, have you guys ever heard someone say scone?
Scone. Real questions. Yeah, I have.
Disgusting. If you hear someone say scone, you need to cut them off.
You got to use it ironically. Like, drop scone into the conversation and you always get the sideways look.
Well, scone is like a proper English accent, right? Like scone.
I'm going to go get a scone.
Right?
Scone and a cup of tea.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yep.
No way. For those of you on the podcast, we are here with Ylia Trotter. He is currently in Melbourne, where he is in deep lockdown, if I'm right.
Yes,
I wonder, are you guys in like one of the like harshest lockdown conditions on the planet right now?
We are, yeah, for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if we still are the harshest because a lot of people around the world are going into their third wave of coronavirus. But for about a month or so, I believe we were the harshest. So yeah, we've had the longest lockdown in the world though. We've spent the most days inside.
That's mental. So how long in total have you been in a level of lockdown for?
Well, we went in to like level 3 lockdown at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
We came out to about level 2 for June, and then the numbers blew up again, and it's October now, and we're still in level 4. Well, we're halfway between level 4 and 3. We're kind of on our way out now, which is great. But yeah, so all but the first 2 months of the year, basically.
That's so wild.
Yeah,
how have you been finding it? Like genuinely, like finding it.
Like personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been trash.
Nice.
Not gonna lie.
I love that.
Solid review. It's been pretty crappy, yeah. Yeah, I just moved house, which has been awesome to like shake up the scenery. So, you know, it's cool to do stuff like that just to, you know, keep it fresh mentally. And I'm trying to keep busy with projects and, you know, try to stay creative, stay fit, stuff like that. So I'm doing okay, man. Like can't complain. We're definitely on the upside of it now. We're definitely on the upside.
So how has that affected your like creative process? So obviously as a filmmaker, videographer, like you would thrive shooting out and about, going on adventures, like getting content from all kinds of beautiful, incredible places, but you can't do that right now. You just can't. So like, what does that look like for you to get out and create and be able to fill that, I guess your creative tank?
Yeah, it's been weird, man, because at the beginning of when this all started to happen, there was kind of like a novelty to it, right? And the prospect of being inside, being at home for months, like weeks or months, having more time, that was exciting because I was like, man, I'm finally going to have the opportunity to do all these projects I've wanted to do. But what I've realized, and what I'm sure a lot of people have realized, is that like it's almost impossible to give out creatively if you're not receiving the things that give you creative energy. And for me, that's like people and nature. So like it's been really hard to stay driven or feel any kind of inspiration for the things I would usually do. But yeah, I've just been trying to go off any little slither of inspiration I do find, I guess. So I've been doing random stuff, man. Like I started recording voiceovers and putting them on Fiverr just as like fun.
Gotta make some bank one way or another.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to keep my mind busy, you know, keep my mind occupied, keep pushing towards something.
That's awesome.
Without nature and like without people predominantly in your life, what have been those little things that you've found creative inspiration through?
What have I found inspiration from? Man, I feel like I've kind of had to create my own inspiration in a sense.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it definitely hasn't been coming easy.
Yeah.
So, but like, even when I'm not inspired to create, I feel like all creatives have a need to be creative. So I've just had to force it, honestly, man. I've had moments where I've like broken through and like just come up with an idea. But yeah, I guess one thing that's been inspiring is just trying different stuff. Like I've pulled out Logic and tried making beats for the first time in years. Going back to the SoundCloud rapper days, just for fun, you know, and like
that's awesome.
You know, the voiceover thing. Tried to do some writing. You know, just shaking it up, really, man.
Did you do the whole SoundCloud rapper phase?
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
You absolutely couldn't find content under Ylia.
There is nothing on the internet anywhere.
Yeah.
That's iconic.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it's interesting. Like when I went for a swim earlier today, I was with a dude named Glenn, and
I know Glenn, Manchester.
Glenn, literally.
What a legend, man.
He was telling me about this thing that he's been getting into for the past year, where he sits down and he forces himself to write at least 3 pages every morning.
That's awesome.
And he's like
3 pages of what?
3 pages of just journaling.
Right.
But like he said a lot of the content is he sits there and he's like, I don't know what to write right now, and like he just allows things to brew, but he has to write those 3 pages.
Wow.
Because we recently did a blog
awesome.
with him, and I don't know, just that forced, like putting yourself in a position where you have to create, and in a different channel, something like he's a photographer, incredibly talented photographer, but he does that, like he's forcing himself to write in a different lane and run in a different lane to get the creative juices flowing.
It's kind of like flexing and working that creative muscle, right?
Yeah.
Like grow it and to actually improve.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. That's sick. Yeah, I did something similar at the start of this year. A couple of my goals were, one, to start doing voiceovers and selling them, and the second was to start writing screenplays.
Damn.
And I had never written a screenplay before, so just as a warm-up, like for a few months I had to write like a short story every night before I went to sleep.
Wow.
Nice.
And it was can't say I'm still doing it. I don't know if I can sell it 6 to 8 weeks or something, but man, it's cool, bro. Writing just feels like, after, like, when all your creative outlets involve a screen, it's so sick to, like, you know, just use a pen and paper, right?
That's awesome. Could you give us the gist of one of those short stories?
Ooh, well, I mean, I could.
Go on.
Go on.
Just roll it
I was
in.
gonna say, pull out that
Welcome.
journal.
Just grab
Me, that's the sound. That's the sound of my chair rolling across this. We just moved into like an ancient townhouse, like near the center of Melbourne. So this house is like super vibey, but it's just falling apart, man. Like since I've been sitting here for like a month, like 3 of these floorboards have just started to fall out underneath.
Oh,
It's-
nice.
It's creepy.
There's something to be said about a house that's falling apart.
Absolutely, man.
It's beautiful.
Well loved.
Morning.
All right. I've got some stuff in here about being born by the beach. Smoko. It's all just kind of like sort of poetic short stories, you know?
Go. Just send one right our way right now.
Oh man, this is risky, bro. This is risky. Okay, I think this is the second one I wrote. Man, fingers crossed, man. Smoko. Warning, may cause lung cancer or blindness or brain damage, but life's gonna kill me anyway, right? One could argue that McDonald's is worse for your health, yet you don't find graphic images of dying organs on a Big Mac box. Society's bias aside, a Big Mac won't be there for you like a pack of durries. You can't keep it in your pocket. You only want it when you're hungry. It won't dance for you like the smoke of tobacco. You can't inhale a burger and with it float away all your worries and weekend plans. It won't console you and ease your soul on the dark days. Sure, you usually can't smoke indoors, but the smoke gets inside you and reasons with your heart why its innate desires really are the best option. Moral of the story, cigarettes over Big Macs. But what do I know? I don't even smoke. I hope that sounds kind of deep because I don't really remember what it means, but I hope you enjoy.
Genius.
I love it. It is really poetic.
Thank you, man.
Have you ever experimented with poetry before? Like, has that been like a favorite outlet of yours, or?
Man, it actually has. I used to do spoken word a little bit, probably like 5 years ago or something. I was making, putting out YouTube videos, doing spoken word, like standing in the bush, just talking about, you know, I feel like there was a period of time, like the early 2010s, where that was just like a sick thing to do. Like that's what the cool kids were doing. They were just like becoming slam poets and like standing under bridges and like in empty car parks and just being like, creativity, poetry, I believe life is purposeful. You know, they're just saying cool stuff like
10
that.
million hits.
I still remember your spoken words, bro. The first time I met you, it was kind of like around that time when you were doing these spoken words. And
so that was a loaded question. You knew the answer. I see.
Fishing.
Well, no, because you asked. Did you know you did spoken word?
I've seen one of the spoken words in the bush at your place in Tongariro.
Yeah.
It was really powerful. I loved it.
Thanks, man. Don't go watch it. It's
definitely not on YouTube.
16-year-old Ylia.
Along with a whole lot of other content.
No, it's so funny, Cam, to because obviously, like, for those that don't know, Charlie's just dating my little sister. That's how we know each other. But it's so funny, like, that where I haven't spoken to you for years, probably, Cam. But I remember we met a long time. We met at Festival One like 5 years ago or something. I remember I saw you.
No, I think
I saw you in Tauranga once.
Yeah, it was just before you went to Melbourne. We bumped into each other at Curate Church.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was that the beginning of last year? Early 2019?
Nah, that was
that when
2018.
Okay, it would have been about a year before I moved to Melbourne then.
It was just completely spontaneous. Bumped into you there, and then I ended up moving up to Auckland after that. But nice. Into your hood.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So where would you say, bro, you are right now, like on your creative journey? So, I mean, we look into your yarn, and you started creating stop motion with Lego when you were super young, and like it all started from those really fun little creative wacky outlets when you're a child, and you just do it because you love it and you love creating these things and showing them off to your friends and family. But like you find yourself now over in Melbourne working for a massive agency, like you're where you're at right now, but like what does it look like moving forward? Like, do you see yourself kind of settling down into this position, or like what's next? What would you hope to be the next thing?
Damn. Well, man, like in terms of where I'm at, like I've been at this agency for nearly 2 years, about a year and a half, a marketing agency. So I basically make YouTube content all day. Before that, I was freelancing for a few years in video. And for me, like at least for the next like foreseeable future, five years at least, filmmaking will be the medium. So I reckon that's what I'm going to continue to focus on. I'm probably going to go back to working for myself soon. Don't tell my boss. When does this come out?
As long away as you need it to, bro.
I can't go tell him on Friday. I just know.
Yeah.
I just know. I'm gonna tell him on Friday probably.
Okay.
Gonna break his heart. Yeah.
Damn,
So,
bro.
Sabri, if you're listening to this, like, it's been real, man. It's been real.
Nice, bro. How are you feeling about that?
I love the job.
Mm.
It's sick. It's so sick. Like, as far as having a job working for someone else's, like, there literally could not be a better one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I just don't want to work for myself is the main thing. Sorry, I do want to work for myself. I don't want to work for someone else.
So I'm gonna stay.
But yeah, I'm gonna come home for a little while. Spend some time in New Zealand this summer. Get away from the COVID.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, bro, I miss New Zealand so much, man. I miss it. And then eventually come back to Melbourne, and when that point happens, I really want to like kick into gear and start building my own business properly over here. Cool. Like really narrow down, figure out exactly how I want to do it. So yeah, like business creative wise, I think I'm about to go into like a lull before taking off again. That's how I'm seeing the next few months, you know?
That's so mean.
Yeah.
For someone who started
like a 2020 detox.
For someone who started doing like Lego stop motion, you realize you froth filmmaking, you froth video, you love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're obviously incredibly creative. Like how have you monetized that and been able to support yourself, like save, travel, do the things that you want to do? Because I know you've spent some time over in the States and you've done some incredible traveling all over the world, but as a filmmaker and as a creative, like potentially there's people listening to this that are in a position where they're like, flip, we want to go down that path, but how do you actually how do you start? Because it's, you know, it's quite a scary and daunting thing to look at.
Yeah, totally. So like speaking to my 14-year-old self, how do you get going basically? That's
the one.
Well, like for me, bro, I've done pretty well. But I've been extremely privileged with my position because my dad's a photographer and he's been a wedding photographer for like 15, 20 years, which means I had the tools available. So I had cameras around that I could use, and I've been able to build on that and start doing it for fun. And then when I was about 15, my dad was like, your videos are good. Let me get you some weddings and you can build your own wedding videography business. And that was a sick opportunity that I remember saying no to because I was too lazy. Well, I was just like real timid at 15. Like I was scared to answer the phone, you know?
Yeah.
And then a year later, he asked again. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I started doing weddings at 16 and I was still finishing school. So the next couple of years, I finished school at 17 and then went straight into freelancing. I actually didn't finish school. I had one more assignment and my hard drive died because I worked remotely. I was homeschooled. My hard drive died and my last assignment disappeared and I was already full-time and I was just like, I emailed my teachers and I was like, sorry, I'm not finishing.
Wow.
Cold. They were disappointed. And you know what happened after that is like 3 months later, the hard drive came back to life and I actually still had to work.
No. Well, yeah, but
are you spinning yarns? Was that your experience?
Yeah.
My hard drive was broken. I've used the broken hard drive one.
Yeah. I never submitted it though. Anyway. But yeah, it just kind of snowballed. And like, if there's one thing I could boil it down to, it would just be like, okay, if there was a couple of things I could boil it down to, it would just be talk to more people. Because like for me, I was so advantaged in having my dad like sort of in the same industry. So that was a massive kickstart. But if you don't have that, there's ways you can make that situation happen. And the way to do that is just by talking to more people. Sounds stupid and like really vague and, you know, ethereal, aerial, whatever that word is. But
yeah.
I read a book, which I didn't actually read. My friend read it and I'm just paraphrasing what he said. And it was basically real life luck and I believe this. I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, and I think it's so true. Real life luck is just being outgoing. Being outgoing is the way to increase your real life odds. Because if you just interact with more people every day, if you're more open to have more conversations, you just get more opportunities. And that's how you get jobs and you get balls starting to roll. So like, I would say just movement, speaking to people and doing it. Like you can do it make trash videos for 3 years and you're still going to be ahead of the person who's like trying to perfect that one video before they get their first client, you know?
Awesome.
That's what I'd say,
right?
If that makes sense.
That grind of like just going and going and going. Like there's only one way to improve your craft, and that's actually doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really funny because that's one thing that Charlie and I have heard quite a lot with this Jeffrey thing is like we came up with the idea, and then because we actually did it, it's been out. Like I mean, we've now got a podcast. We're doing collabs with like well-established local businesses. We're launching products, and like I'd say I'd like back that up 100%. That just by getting out and doing it is the best way to start because it takes you to so many crazy wacky places that you never thought you'd end up.
Yeah, well, I think like in a
100%.
way we started becoming our own bottleneck, if that makes sense. Like just our own kind of anxiousness and fear of not succeeding and like just not being up there with the big dogs was like, oh, maybe we just shouldn't even attempt it. But I think
absolutely,
it's really cool.
bro.
I'm like really stoked and proud like of you and ourselves of like actually just going, nah, let's just do it. Like stuff it. Like there's only one way to.
I guess it's that thing called comparison.
So cool, guys.
Comparison. Like I don't know where it says it. Like I don't know. I can't remember. But there's this thing in the back of my mind. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I reckon that's such a huge thing in the creative industry at the moment, or like just in general, especially with like social media and all that kind of stuff. Comparison is the thief of joy. Like it will rob you of the joy that you get from the creative process. Like you compare yourself to someone who's been doing it for years, and you know, whereas if you just focus on what you're doing and do it and just keep practicing, keep growing, I feel like that's
And you're going to find out if it's not for you, right?
It's true. Yeah,
like,
it's so true.
Like there's only one way to find your thing and find your, find where your skills align and find where you find that purpose and the thing that you wake up each day and you are frothing. You're just absolutely fizzing out each day. And there's only one way to find that, and it's actually to try things, right?
Yeah. Did you ever go through a time, Ylia, where you were like, flip, maybe filmmaking's not for me?
Yeah, probably just the time when I was rapping a lot.
Icon. God.
Was that kind of like the angsty, creative, rebellious stage? Like, stuff filmmaking, man.
Spoken word.
Yeah, man. I was just like, I was just enjoying. See, oh man, I talk about this like it's a real thing. I'm not good at it. I just really enjoy it. See?
No, I rebuke that. I listened to, I don't know when it was, but it's on YouTube. You and Avia.
No, it's not. It's not on YouTube.
There is nothing on YouTube. You will find
Avia
nothing
singing
on YouTube.
And then you rapping to it. It's on your YouTube channel.
That came up
down on the mount
over summer last year.
Did it? I found it the other day. I don't even know why. And
it's great. I love it.
I think it's great too.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so much embarrassing stuff in the deep, dark reaches of YouTube, man. Like, frick. But like in terms of like doubting that I'll be able to make filmmaking a career, to be honest, not really. Like I've never not thought it's gonna work. And that may just be because like all my family are freelancers, so it's weirder to have a job in my family than it is to not have one. Yeah, but besides being interested in other things, honestly, like I've always known it'll work, you know. It's a good industry. There's so much work, man. Like if you're keen and you're good, like you will get jobs, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Where do you see yourself going, big picture? Like you were talking about coming back to New Zealand and then like dream a little here. Give me 10, 15 years, big picture. Ylia, what does that look like for you?
Okay, sweet. So let me start. I've got a few things for you.
Nice.
Okay, so one thing I'm thinking about that would be cool is, so I want to go hard like building a video brand, like, right? So like a video production brand. Kind of once I've detoxed from 2020, taking some time, and then I'm ready to get back into it.
Nice.
And I'd like to do that, but I know I don't want to do that forever. So I'm thinking like, I'd love to do that for 3 to 5 years, build something that's like a tangible thing, like find a way to build a brand that's bigger than me, so that by the end of that, if I step away from it, I've got something to show for it that I can get rid of. So like something, either a business I can sell or pass on to someone. Like I'm just really hungry to like book my own jobs, meet new people, build something, work with people, outsource to people, maybe hire people one day. That would be the dream. That'd be super sick. Get a space. That would be dope. Another dream, another thing I really want to do is I just want to be a rapper and have a show like on a yacht in a harbor. So like that's always been like one of my dream moments. Is like I want to do like an album. I want to be like a dope rapper and just do like an album release party on a boat or something. Like
I love
on a
the contrast.
sunset.
That's such
Yeah. So that's a thing. I want to spend heaps of time traveling.
Cool.
And yeah, I want to tell just crazy stories about people's lives there.
That's cool, man.
I haven't really worked out the details yet.
Yeah. So with storytelling, I remember with the yarn that you shared with us, you started digging into that, and like what I'd love to know is how does that storytelling tie into your purpose as an individual and even your faith, bro? Because you are, quite an outspoken Christian, and I'd love to know a little bit more around like how you find your purpose in your filmmaking and in your creativity. Like,
how I find my purpose, like in my art, basically.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
We stumped them, boys.
Yeah, we got them.
We done it.
How I find my purpose. Well, I believe like you said, like, I love Jesus. That's the biggest thing for me. And I believe humans, like individual people, are wonderfully made. Like that's what the scripture says. The words that the Bible uses is fearfully and wonderfully made, like made with such precision and purpose. And I believe that a part of that is our creativity and our desire and our ambitions, our goals. They're a part of like what God has woven into our being, as individuals. So they're awesome things. They're God-given things. And I believe that like, no matter what period in history this guy, myself, might have been born, I would have the same core, like, dreams, the same things that really, the same gifts and the same things that really just like give me fulfillment. And the reason they give me fulfillment is because they're like from the creator. So that's what I believe. That's what I believe about creativity. It's a reflection of the original creator. It's literally just like fulfilling a God-given drive and purpose. So that's what I believe it is. And because I was born in the 20th century and I live in the 21st, just flexing that I'm not a teenager anymore. Side note, how weird is it that like e-boys on TikTok were born in 2005?
Yeah.
How weird is that?
That's so
super
wild.
weird. How weird is it
That's
that if like you could actually be not a teenager and born in the 2000s at the moment?
What the hell, man?
That's
you could
wild. That's so weird.
Me!
Oh, you 2000s boy.
Flex.
That is a flex. That is a flex.
Oh.
So,
Do you remember those 90s kids memes? Like,
90s
if you were a 90s kid, you
great
you were a
meme.
90s kid, and it had like cassettes and like stuff like that.
Well, that's a joke because like that stuff was still around early 2000s.
Yeah.
Totally.
It was.
You know, I think it was kids born in 1999 who made Born in the 90s memes. There were kids who were like only just not 2000s. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I feel like I kind of lost the. Yeah.
So you were talking about traveling, bro, and I guess like where would be the first place you'd want to just jet over to once lockdown loosens up, COVID starts to drop away off the radar? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Right. Okay, so I've never been to Europe, right?
Cool.
And I know Europe is unbelievable and like it's going to be sick when I do go there. And I've been to the States like a couple of times for, about a couple months at a time. But I just want to go back to the States. Like I kind of feel bad about it. I feel like I should want to go to somewhere I've never been before, but I don't. I just want to go back to the desert, man. Like I just freaking love that Midwest nature. Like I miss it, man.
Why the States?
It's the parks. It's national parks. It's Zion. It's the Grand Canyon. It's just like the deserts in Utah and Arizona and Nevada.
Have you been to Yosemite?
Cali. Yes, I have. Yes, I wasn't in Yosemite for very long. I was only there for a couple of days, but I've been in and out.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man.
Unbelievable. Me and my mates, we started hiking I met a bunch of dudes from Instagram. And road trip with them for a month in the States, and we started doing like the big hike by that huge cascading waterfall. Yeah, and then we climbed down to the bottom of the waterfall, and my mate slipped over and broke his foot. Or he thought he broke his foot, but we had to walk back like down the hill, so we didn't get to finish it. And then he gets back home, and apparently he just bruised it. And we were like,
"Oh, come on, bro!
Punishing,
bro.
Punishing.
You know who you are if you're listening to this."
We'll tag him in the video bio.
Yeah.
Called
out. No, seriously, nothing but love for you, man.
So, bro, you and your girlfriend Meg, you're both into video. You both make films.
Yeah, bro.
Have you guys ever thought about starting up a little something together, or you already have a little something together, don't you?
We do, and the answer is yes to both questions. Yeah. So right now we've got a little Melbourne-based wedding videography business called Some Films.
Yeah.
Somefilms.com, and that's specifically for weddings, so that's a vibe. But yeah, the thing I was talking about earlier, like starting to build something, that would be our kind of joint venture.
Cool.
So yeah, we don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but we want to. Like I've definitely worked for a marketing agency. I've definitely picked up like a bit of knowledge around, how to make great ads and things. So I'd like to utilize that somehow.
Cool.
But yeah, short answer, yes. And we're super excited to be out of there, quitting our jobs and doing our own thing.
That's cool, man. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hit you with some quick fire questions right now. What's your favorite meal, bro? Favorite meal?
Favorite cuisine is Mexican. So favorite meal, probably tacos.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Nice. What type of taco?
Maybe fish tacos, bro.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I was expecting a pulled pork or a beef or a...
Man, if you have a really good fish taco. Hard to say though, the best meal I ever had were some tacos on the street in Mexico from this like family run little side bar thing.
Once again,
and it was unbelievable, man. Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's muscle.
Yeah, I try to make it subtle, but yeah.
But I'm the man.
It's just undeniable that I am incredible.
Nice. If you had to recommend one book to the listeners out there, bro, what would that book be?
Song of Solomon. Often found in the Bible.
Saucy!
Nice.
Saucy.
Guys, you can go and check that out yourselves.
Yeah.
Tea or coffee, bro?
Drop a review.
Coffee. 100% coffee.
Nice. Booch or beer?
Yeah. What was the first one?
Kombucha or beer?
Beer. 100%.
Nice.
How are you still making your way through that little beer gift package the family sent you?
You can actually see the remnants on the ground behind me. From this camera. I've kept all the cans, but I have 2 beers left. Yeah, so I've got a Stillwood Pale Ale, and I've got a Nitro Pale Ale down in the fridge, which is like a big.
Nice.
I don't actually know what it is, but you're meant to froth it real hard. It's like the opposite to normal beers.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fascinating. What's your favorite outfit?
Like
go-to.
Well, since my cupboard is right here,
Nice, bro.
man, this jacket,
Ooh.
for those who can see it, for those who are just listening, it's just like a pink and purple and green ski jacket. I bought it at an op shop in Christchurch for like $10, I think. And it's amazing, man. It's just like, it's warm. It goes with like way more things than you think it would. Basically this with anything is my favorite outfit.
It looks
Dude,
dope.
that's rad.
Thank you, man. I should have put it on at the start.
Nice.
It happens to match the hoodie too.
Yeah.
It does very
That's
nicely.
perfect.
It's coordinated.
Thank you.
We planned this.
Yeah.
Bro, what's the number one thing you're missing the most from New Zealand?
Holy crap, bro. Tiarai Point. Tiarai Point.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I live, my house is like 10, this is another flex, I'm just going to call it out now so before you guys do. But I've grown up 10 minutes away from Tiarai, so I've grown up going there, and I miss it so much, man. Like, I see it on my friends' stories, especially my friends who are not from Mangawhai, and I'm just like, get out.
Get out.
I want to be there. Also, obviously my family, and specifically my nephew, I haven't seen him for a year, so I know he's going to be huge when I hang out with him next.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, man.
Bro, what we hit Geordie with this in the last podcast. What would your
Great
heart
podcast, by the
and
way.
hope be for Jeffrey?
Yeah.
For this movement that we've started, that we're running with, that we have incredible people like yourself a part of. Like, what would you love to see come to fruition out of it?
Whoa. Man, I should have known this question was coming. I've listened to the last 2 episodes and they were awesome, man.
Legend.
But I haven't thought about this. What would I hope for Jeffrey? First of all, that you guys wouldn't stop, like you'd keep on going. With like an ambitious project like this, it's I feel like it's easy to like go and then go for like 6 months and then patter off, or go for a year and patter off. You guys already smashed that 6-month mark. And I know you're only ramping up, so I'm sure you're going to keep doing it. But yeah, man, I'd love to see you as like up there with Thank You and like all those brands that are just, crazy, different, world changing. I'd love to see like a community, just a powerful community come out of it, and a physical space. Are you guys getting an office? Like, are you gonna invest in like a warehouse one day and convert it? And
God willing, very soon.
We're so keen for it.
We've had a few situations kind of rise up and then fall through, and then rise up and then fall through. So we're hanging out. We're not in any rush.
Awesome.
If the opportunity does come up, we will take it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So sure.
Yeah.
That's
what I'd love to see.
That's real mean, bro. Really,
you're real mean, bro.
Rad, bro. It's been epic talking to you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, I absolutely love what you're doing, and I've listened to the last couple of episodes, and it's so cool, man. Like, I can't wait for more to come out. Specifically this one, but
not for like 1 to 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, not for like 6 days at least, until I can tell my boss I'm leaving. Sorry,
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll hold on. We'll go.
I love you.
Together.
Yeah.